this is our fourth video. So with your third video we have covered around 30 numbers of question. So this is question number 31. The question is reflected light divided by incident light. So this is the ratio of reflected light and incident light. So the options are reflection factor, absorption factor, maintenance factor and waste light factor. Okay. So the right option is your reflection factor. So reflection factor, which is equal to your reflected light divided by your incident light, and its value is always less than 1. Okay. So moving to the next question. So next question, question 32. The shaded pole motor is basically dash motor. That means it has asked here the shaded pole motor, it belongs to which motor? Okay. The options are synchronous motor, shunt motor, series motor and single phase induction motor. So the shaded pole motor is basically a single phase induction motor. Okay. So shaded pole means your some portion of the pole, if this is the pole, so this portion is getting shaded, means it has number of coils are there. So it has wound with your coil. Basically 1/3 portion of your total pole is wound the coil, and this is called your shaded pole motor, and it is belongs to your single phase motor. Then moving to the next question. So the question is H is equal to dash is the expression for the magnetic field due to infinite linear current carrying conductor. Infinite linear current carrying conductor. Okay. So this type of question we have already covered in our previous video. So they are having your, here it is your infinite linear conductor. Okay. So the options are mu I by 2 pi r ampere per meter, mu I by 2 r ampere per meter, I by 2 pi r ampere per meter, then I by 2 r ampere per meter. So we know your H, the formula for H is equal to, it is B by mu 0. Okay. B by mu 0. So for your infinite linear current carrying conductor, your B value will be mu I by 2 pi r, mu I by 2 pi r. So for if you solve this one, or if you will just, it is B by mu 0, your mu 0 is your permeability of your vacuum or free space, and with the density, and your this will be your I by 2 pi r. So the answer is your question answer number C, I by 2 pi r. Similar types of question we have already covered in our last video. Here the question is a solenoid is given, or your circular, same thing, the formula only, your B equal to mu I by 2 r, mu I by 2 r. This was the previous video question. Okay, thank you. With that we will move to the 34th number question. So the question is the direction of the arrow represents the direction of dash when the diode is forward bias. So the condition is forward bias condition of the diode. Okay. And your the direction of the arrow, you have to say that what is the direction of the arrow. Okay. So the options are N-type material, conventional current flow, PN junction, then P-type material. So first we draw the direction, or first we draw the diode symbol. So this is the diode symbol, and this is your positive and this is your negative terminal. So for your diode is forward bias. For forward bias condition, your positive supply, if you are having two supply, positive and negative, your positive supply should be connected to your positive terminal of the diode, and negative supply will be connected to your negative terminal of the diode. So with that we can say the direction of the flow or the the direction of the arrow, this arrow, it will indicate the conventional current flow. To indicate the conventional current flow. So moving to the next question, question number 35. So the next question, the prevention of interference with the neighboring telephone line can be done by dash. The options are using bundled conductor, then reducing the skin effect, then transposing the transmission line, then reducing corona. So your prevention means you have to eliminate prevention of interference with the neighboring telephone line. So what is that? First you have to understand what is the interference of the neighboring telephone line. So basically your transmission line as well as your telephonic line, both are coming in parallel, means both are present in the parallel line. So due to the presence of nearer the transmission line and your telephonic line, there are some interference present in that your telephonic line. So due to that some disturbance will occur. So to remove that disturbance, to eliminate that disturbance, we have to transpose the transmission line. The option C is the correct answer. So what do you mean by transposing? So with the transposing, what happened? You have to balance the capacity effect in your transmission line. So after balancing your capacity effect, whatever your electromagnetic wave present in that system, it will be balanced and there will no your interference present in the telephonic line. So the option C is the correct answer. Okay. So moving to the next question. Next question is, find the frequency of the rotor induced EMF of a 3-phase 440 volt 50 hertz induction motor as a slip given 10%. Okay. The options are 25 hertz, 2.5 hertz, 5 hertz and 50 hertz. So the question is to find out the frequency. So what is the frequency or whose frequency? Rotor induced EMF. Means you have to find out the rotor frequency. Okay. You have to find out the rotor frequency of a 3-phase induction motor. This is your induction motor. Having your slip is given 10% slip. So and the frequency of your starter or your supply frequency is given 50 hertz. So we know that the formula for your rotor frequency f of r. Rotor frequency f of r is equal to slip into supply frequency f of s. Okay. So slip is your 10%. So it is 0.01 into your supply frequency is 50. So this will be your 5. So the unit is hertz. So the answer is your 5 hertz. Option number C is the correct answer. So moving to the next question. Question number 37. The Thevenin resistance as seen through the terminal A and B. So this is the terminal A and B. It is asked to find out your Thevenin resistance through A and B, and the options are 5 ohm, 6 ohm, 4 ohm and 7 ohm. So if we will solve this one, first we have to eliminate the voltage source, and the voltage source will be, first we have to eliminate your load resistance, because we have to find out the equivalent circuit or equivalent resistance through this one. So this is your RTH, we have to find out this one. And remember that in your Thevenin circuit, it will find out your load side. From load side, you have to find out only the resistance and eliminate the sources. The voltage source will be short circuit and the current source will be open circuit. So here only the voltage source are present. So I am short circuiting the voltage source. So by step we have to find out. So these two are your series connection. So the resistance will be add up here. So the total resistance is your, I am drawing one by one circuit, your 2 ohm. So this is your 2 plus 4 ohm. It is 2 plus 4 ohm. So 6 ohm, again 6 ohm is there, this is your 3 ohm, and this is your again 6 ohm, and this is your 2 ohm, and this is the terminal A and B. So these are series. So this is your 6 ohm, and now this 2 ohm, your 6 ohm and 6 ohm, these two are parallel here. These two are parallel here. So now solve these two. So your 6 into 6 divided by 6 plus 6. So we are finding here 6 by 2, it is your 3 ohm. So the resistance will be like that. So you have to look up at the steps. How the steps step by step I am solving. So this is your 3 ohm, and your 3 ohm is also present here, 6 ohm and 2 ohm. Now you solve these two because these two are in series. So add these two, 3 plus 3 it is 6 ohm. This is AB. So here it is 6 ohm and 6 ohm and 2 ohm. So now you can say here, so these two, now these two are again parallel combination. Okay, this is now parallel combination. Again 6 parallel 6. So you are getting your 3 ohm. So the resistance is like that. Finally you are getting the resistance like in your circuit. This is A, this is B. So this is 3 ohm and this is your 2 ohm. So 3 to this is 5 ohm. So finally you are getting your 5 ohm combination. This total combination you are getting 5 ohm. Okay. So the options are your option number A is the correct answer. 5 ohm is the Thevenin equivalent resistance through your A and B. Okay. So moving to the next question. It is your two inductors of 4 Henry and 6 Henry are connected in series. Then the equivalent inductance. This is a simple question. So I am drawing the inductor, how it is connected in series. So this is the inductor L1, inductor L2. So if it is 4 Henry and this is your 6 Henry. So simple question, it is connected in series. So this is your series combination. For the series combination, the total inductance, it will find out the equivalent inductance. Means your total inductance, this will be your 4 plus 6. So 10 Henry. And this is a very simple question. Okay. So these types of questions are coming in your just preliminary exam of your or paper 1 of your SSC JEE. Okay. So answer A is the correct answer. So here is another question. The full wave rectifier circuit shown in the figure. So this is your circuit and this is your full wave rectifier circuit. The diodes that conduct when the positive half wave of the AC is applied. So this is your supply. So for positive half wave AC, so we know that for your diode, if positive supply is given to the positive terminal and negative supply is given to the negative terminal, then only the diode works. So if this is the supply, so it has said that when it is positive half cycle, half wave of AC is applied. That means here it is positive and this is your negative half. So if the supply will comes here, okay, so it is your negative terminal and this is the positive terminal. So only diode 1 D1 will be active, or D1 is forward bias. Then this will not forward bias, only D1 will be the forward bias. Then comes to the negative supply. If the negative supply is coming here, okay, so here this one is negative and this one is this one is negative, so this one is positive, so this will not forward bias, so only D2 will be the forward bias. So from the options are D4, D3, D1, D4 and D1, D2, D2, D3. So your option C is the correct answer, D1 and D2. So in your other questions also, the naming or the supply will be changed, but you have to remember that for positive and negative terminal, if the positive is supplied with the positive, then and negative will supply with the negative or connected the negative, then only the diode is forward bias. Okay, so the option C is the right answer. Coming to the last question. So, which of the following lamp has the shortest or less lifespan? The question is to find out the shortest lifespan among the lamps. So, the lamps are fluorescent lamp, incandescent lamp, sodium vapor lamp and mercury vapor lamp. Okay. So, the lifespan means the working hour, means the lamp how much working hour it will work. So, from the data we can find out your fluorescent lamp is around your 10,000 to 20,000 working hour, and incandescent lamp is around 750 to 1000 working hour, and sodium vapor lamp and the mercury vapor lamp, these two lamps, this is also they are having working hour is around 20,000. Okay. So from this data we can say that this is the least or this is the shortest working hour. So the option B is the correct answer. Your incandescent lamp, it is having your shortest lifespan or shortest life period. So with this we are concluding our video. Hope this is the better video for us, and in the process we are improving our session. So be with us and do like, share our video, which will helpful in your preparation of SSC.